waking up, fire in the soul, shots on the screen, taking full control. London session calling, the volume is high, watching the candles reaching for the sky.
Strategy locked, no room for doubt. I know what the movement is all about. From the one-step plan to the two-step challenge, finding that edge, keeping the balance, no distractions. Phone or silent mode, deciphering the market, cracking the code. Precision entry, the setup is clean. Living the life inside the machine.
Patterns forming, packets called, balance they slow down, standing strong through it all. Risk defined, profit inside. Seacrest Markets guiding every step into the light. Seacrest Markets leading the way. Making a move every single day. Charts in the vision, strategies align with every trade. Our future is defined. Charts in the vision, strategies align with every trade. Our future is defined.
Let's talk execution, let's talk speed. Damn, that crystal clarity is what we need. Some is action, just the price as I see it. If you dream of the top, then you gotta be it. Spreads are tight, the conditions are prime. Scaling up the ladder, one trade at a time. Global access, yeah, we worldwide. We're the brokerage back firm, right by your side. It's not a gamble, it's a calculated risk. Reviewing the data, checking the list. Green on the screen, yeah, the feeling is grand. The power of the market in the palm of your hand.
Master of the pulse, heart rate steady. When the window opens, I'm already ready. No revenge trading, no chasing the rat. Following the logic, the plan in my head. The market is a mirror, it shows who you are. Trading like a pro, reaching for a star. Seacrest is the vessel, the compass is true. Breaking every barrier, breaking on through. Discipline and patience, the tools of the trade. This is how a lasting legacy is made.
Chasing the sun from the east to the west. With the strategy through the ultimate test. Sydney is waking while New York is sleeping. Watching the levels, the promise is keeping. Laptop open by the ocean shore. Every pip gained is an open door. No 9 to 5, no shackles, no change. Just the cold hard facts and the capital gains. From the rooftop bars to the quiet floor. Seacrest Markets gives you so much more.
Patterns forming, markets call, balance based drawdown, standing strong through it all. Seacrest Markets leading the way. Making the move every single day. Charts in the vision, strategies align with every trade. Our future is defined. Charts in the vision, strategies align with every trade. Our future is defined.
Then the lights let the candles glow. Watching the Fibonacci start to show. Resistance turning into support. This is the craft, this is the sport. Back tasting nights in the early mornings. Leading the trends and the volume on it. It's a chess game played on a digital board. Striking the keys, striking the chord. Elite mentality, top tier tech. Seacrest provides the ultimate check. MT5 or match trader speed. Technology serving the traders' need. Daily limit set, max allocation. Building up capital, pure dedication. It's more than the payout, it's more than the gain. It's the freedom we build, breaking the chain.
From the first deposit to the maxed out account, watching the influence and impact mount. We're the new era, the elite of the screen. Navigating depths where the giants are seen. Seacrest the name, the gold standard inside. Turning every vision into brilliant light.
It's a mindset,
Keep it grinding,
it's a lifestyle.
keep it crushing. We own the vision.
Right, can everyone hear me now? Well, that looks quite nice, actually. What? Oh my goodness, I've just spoke for so long and no one can actually hear me. That's insane. Oh dear, never mind. All right, let's start again. So, I did originally start by saying happy Tuesday, 24th of February, only a few more days left until the end of February 2026, which is obviously the Saturday, 28th. And what an eventful day it was in the markets yesterday. If we go back to my tweet overnight, just really looking at what happened yesterday. And I'll cover the shorts today. So a couple of housekeeping rules. I've changed the positioning of my camera. My camera now sits here. I have also just changed the background of my charts to help your viewing. I had a few people saying that the white background was a bit too bright, so I've changed it to the darker background. I traditionally have the darker background for my longer term investment portfolio, and I'll have the white background for my intraday trading, but it's irrelevant to me, so I just switched it to the darker background for your viewing pleasure. But I want to cover the shorts that came into play in the Euro, in the ES yesterday, so the S&P. But yesterday was extremely eventful. We had traders not being paid out and crying. We had philosophers discussing how they've been break even for many, many years and they're still not profitable, yet they're selling a mentorship or trading course or something. And overall, the markets were red across the board. Now, it's only Monday, but some of the stocks that we saw offside yesterday, you know, Google negative 1.25%, Meta down 2.75%, Amazon down nearly 2.5%, Microsoft down nearly 3.5%, JP Morgan down over 4%, Visa down 4.5%, MasterCard down well over 6%, Amex down nearly 7.5%, Capital One down negative 7.75%. What a day it was. Like, it was just an absolute bloodbath. Bloodbath indeed. Tesla 3.75%. What a day. And it's only Monday. Another day in paradise. So let's talk fundamentals. I've already discussed a lot of it, but again, appreciated. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, my camera wasn't showing, my mic wasn't showing, and you couldn't hear me. So haven't got a clue. So let's talk why, before we break down the charts, let's talk why the market sold off yesterday. And we did touch upon this during yesterday's live stream. Overall, I'll start with the summary first and I'll break it down. Overall, there's a huge element of uncertainty regarding what we call global supply chains. Now, the reason that's come around is because what happened over the weekend was the Supreme Court invalidated the tariffs that had been brought in under the IEEPA. Now, what that would have done initially was spark a kind of relief rally in tech. However, Donald Trump came in with a plan B and has now applied that 15% uniform global tariff. Again, the summary, that has brought uncertainty back into the market and, of course, into global supply chains. Now, that's theory one. That's factual one, sorry. We then also have the Iran ultimatum. We've got that 15-day clock, which we spoke about yesterday, which is around the Iran nuclear talks. So I guess the key driver that potentially suggests significant or major escalations or signals of a major escalation was that the US has started to pull out non-essential staff from the Beirut embassy. So we need to keep an eye on that. In terms of where we're at in the morning, or as of this morning, we had obviously the Asian hub were closed, the Nikkei, the Shanghai was closed. It had pretty much thin liquidity, obviously, due to those post-holiday schedules that we saw last week, which led to that choppy European Open, which we broke down live. But overall, we need to really kind of consider what's going on in the world at the moment. We've got that blanket tariff of 15%. We have the tug of war as investors kind of try to weigh up inflationary tax or tariffs against the relief, which will be potentially a more aggressive policy path. And then, of course, we also have what happened out in Mexico over the weekend with US and now, which has kind of escalated significantly to gang wars, and the four-letter cartel has taken it upon themselves to retaliate. Now, that includes going after rival gangs, capturing rival gang leaders, unnecessary killings, and also attacking and targeting US tourists in their capital. So not a good day to be, or a good time to be visiting Mexico or certain regions of Mexico at this moment in time. So yesterday we saw a pretty significant sell-off in the markets. There was a couple of shorts available during the day. Levels that we discussed during our live stream came into the fore. They reacted off of those levels, and we had some significant opportunities in and around those areas or off of those areas, which we can break down momentarily. One thing that I did discuss during the live stream, and I kept it in red specifically for this event, was that key area of previous areas of resistance, previous areas of support, which is that significant red box that's drawn on my chart. Now, markets did come into that level yesterday as well, and again, and react off of it, which is where we got the sell-off from. So markets are still extremely nervous about what's going on in the world. I don't necessarily see much trend until we get to grips with Iran, tariffs, and I guess even we could consider Kevin Walsh on the Fed. We're still trying to work out the positioning of where the Fed's going to be going, whether they're going to cut in July, whether they're going to postpone it, and overall where the market really wants to go. You know, if we looked at how gold was yesterday, it was slightly softer on Monday because of obviously the tariff in Iran, double whammy. We had the S&P, the NASDAQ were offside pretty significantly. But the FTSE and the DAX opened, again, softer this morning because of that global tariff. But again, hangovers are what we kind of expected. When we were talking about it yesterday, we were waiting for Monday's markets in the US to kind of really drive prices, because we don't necessarily know what's going to happen. After the weekend news, the last thing you want to be doing is getting caught up in a position. You don't want to be getting caught up in your European, UK, London positions, only for the US to come out and reverse everything entirely. So as we go into the S&P, obviously you can see that it's opened up slightly firmer this morning. And the reason we'll say that is the news is out. We believe that's the worst of the news. So now we can get back to focusing on business. We don't necessarily need to be worrying about selling the reaction, selling the specific event, selling the news. We can now actually get back to business and focus on where the market realistically wants to go. We're going to have these challenges and blips. So what I will be doing today is adding to my portfolio on a longer term basis, my ISAs, my JISAs, and I'll be looking to try and get obviously filled somewhere in and around this 68.5 level, just because we can. You know, it's quite a nice level to trade off of. But from a day trading perspective, we don't need to worry about that. Like 4 hour, we came into that significant area of supply, which we discussed. We also came into that huge red level that we discussed and broke down during yesterday's live stream. So if you haven't seen it, head back over to the recording for Monday the 23rd. And of course, you can see why we've pivoted this red box in as a point of control around resistance and support, and why the market is continuously trading at around that mean level at this moment in time. As we come down into the 60 minutes, because we really don't need to be out on the 4 hour all of the time. We was out there long enough yesterday. So let's turn so I don't get a crooked neck. So during yesterday's live stream, we were discussing how we were expecting price to push up into this supply area. Again, I'm always looking for higher prices in the ES. I'm always looking for longs. I always want 7,000, 7,100, etc., etc., etc. But we did highlight the two different scenarios. We highlighted the red box, which is that huge area of control that we've been discussing. But we also highlighted this area, which I'll just map out in white quickly so that we can see it a little bit more clearer, which was that last point of supply within the range extreme. We had a reaction off of it just as we came into the end of the stream. So at 10 a.m. UK GMT, we had the reaction off of that. We tried to push down, didn't make any significant headway. We traded into pre-US Open, and of course, markets decided that we want to go higher. What happened? Traded into supply, traded into that point of control, swept the previous high or fake break to the high, and then of course closed down. I guess as a shooting star would be the best terminology for that singular piece of price action. And then post that, it was pretty much just a free for all for the next 1 to 2 hours before correcting off as we headed into late European UK session and out into the end of the day. So where do we want to go now? Obviously, after such a sell-off, if supply is now going to take control, we would be looking for something in the previous area. So whether it be the previous leg or the previous move prior, which if we look at something like this, you had that previous area of demand. It then became what you would consider as resistance. So support became resistance.